Jacob, it's been a month since you recorded. It's been 4 months since the recording before that. What is going on? Well, a few things have been going on. One, I got a girlfriend like a couple months ago, and I've been talking to her every night, and it's pretty much the reason I haven't been uploading as frequently over the last few months is because I'm so much happier just talking to her instead of recording, and I haven't really gotten the time to record because any moment that I'm not doing school or at work, I'm talking to her, video chatting, hanging out, etc. And I'm not going to explain that. I'm not going to defend that. I'm just saying that I am happy for the most part. But I am back, or at least I'm going to try to get back, because I'm going to make no promises. I can't seem to keep to those. It's just how I am. It's not that I don't keep promises. I mostly do keep my promises, at least in real life. It's just I lose the will to do stuff so quickly. Like the drive. Like I'll start out something new, and then I'll lose the drive to continue it. It's pretty much how my channel's been from the start. I used to have like almost 200 videos on this channel, but I no longer do just because all the series that were on there. Well, one, they were bad, and I just kind of lost interest in them, and I don't know. I don't lose interest very fast and stuff. It's just that, Number two, the reason that I'm back. So a lot of you probably heard about the absolute shit show that was Hawaii. Well, I was in Hawaii during the ballistic missile thing, and they did take us into a parking garage, and we sat and we waited for death. I didn't really care, though, was the thing. It didn't really affect me at all. I was like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. There's nothing to change that. I can't do anything about this. So, I thought, what if I was to die? I wouldn't be leaving anything behind. Couple people, sure, that care about me. A lizard that depends on me, but there are people for him. But what I want is, I want to be remembered. So I'm going to do YouTube again. So I'm going to be starting a Monster Hunter series Thursday when it comes out. I will be doing that probably with Ben and Cole. And I'm going to continue these narrations until I'm at least done with Angels and Demons. I don't guarantee I will do the sequel series. But yeah, I'm back. And hopefully I'm here to stay for a while. Let's get right into this. Well, not right. Sorry for that long rant. Chapter 11. With a groan, Demon awoke from his slumber, the extremely annoying beeping sound of the alarm ringing through his head. He used his pilot's stim, and thoughts of sleep were quickly purged from his head. Kira and Rosaline were still sleeping in their beds. Revenge, he thought before shutting the alarm off. He turned on Sid and made his way to his class, leaving the girls to have their privacy. He walked to the classroom and began killing time by hacking through some secure files. Sid, initiate alpha-level hacking procedures. I want no traces that you were in there. Give me everything you have using the code words aura and semblance. Yes, sir. Hacking in progress. Estimated time, 2.43 minutes. He sighed before tapping a few buttons on his wrist screen. After a few minutes, he found out about a few features that he unknowingly installed. One was the tracker, which he hastily disabled, and the aura gauge. He tried to connect it to him, but it continuously showed up as gray. Sir, hack complete. Compiling a database now. Demon looked down at his wrist screen and saw 100 files being downloaded. He skimmed through a few of them, reading over what they could do. Magnetism, teleportation, cloning. He continued reading through the files, being nothing short of amazed as he read over what they could do. As he felt someone tap his shoulder, he looked up to see Miss Goodwitch standing in front of him. Yes? Mr. Demon? Do you know what day it is? Of course I do, he retorted, looking down at his wrist screen. It's Saturday. Miss Goodwitch smiled before continuing along the corridor, leaving Demon to facepalm himself. Not only had he ruined a perfectly good day by getting up early, he let the girl sleep in. Before he could even think of anything else, he heard Sid interrupt him. Sir, your nutrient levels have reached negative levels. I suggest that you seek out food before your performance levels become affected. Sid, I'm not hungry. A large growl emanated from his gut, causing a couple of students down the corridor to become startled, thinking it was a Grim. Point taken, he said, before making his way to the dining hall. He stepped in and noticed there weren't really many people there. He walked over to the dining table and nearly died, the sheer shock of food on offer. He hastily went past all the hot sections, the salads, fruits, and straight to the dessert section. There was only one person there, a girl in a pink uniform with hearts all over it. He walked over to the person who was serving before hastily addressing her. Please, I need at least 40 pancakes, 30 cookies, and enough chocolate to cover it all. The cook raised an eyebrow at this. I'm not allowed to serve students that much. Wait, have I seen you before? I highly doubt it. I've been here for like a month and spent most of it in the hospital. That was you! You were the guy that was in the initiation last month. Yes, that was me. Oh my god, you saved that girl. Wait here, I'll be right back. She hastily went behind the counter. Before he could even blink, she was back holding a massive plate, stacked high with pancakes, which were covered in cookies, which were covered in chocolate. She handed them over to him, and he struggled to hold it. Take this as a thanks from me to you. You deserve it after nearly dying for that girl. Thanks. He turned around as he found his way to the table at the far back of the room before sitting down, disengaging his faceplate, and began wolfing down the food. Not even bothering to use cutlery, he barely took any break for breathing and was practically inhaling the food. His had never tasted anything near as delicious as what he was eating now. In just 5 minutes, he had managed to eat the whole damn plate. Smiling as urethra died down, he activated his stims and advanced his metabolism and quickly cut down all the food into the needed nutrients. He lay back on the bench, closing his eyes and waiting while the food digested. Now that was good. He opened his eyes and was suddenly face to face with a certain spotty-faced redhead. Holy crap! He exclaimed, flailing his arms around madly before falling off the seat. She smiled, offering a hand to help him up. Hi, I'm Nora. Demon, he replied, sitting back up in his chair. How did you eat that much food? She asked, crossing her arms as she did. Well, it's probably been 5 years since I had pancakes and chocolate. It's something you don't get in the middle of a war zone. As she was about to reply, a young man came along with black hair, a single lock of pink, and was wearing green getup that looked like what traditional Japanese would wear back on Earth. Nora, I told you not to run off again. But Ren, he ate at least 30 pancakes in under 5 minutes. It was 40, actually, offered Demon. Ren turned to him and offered a hand. Hello, I am Lai Ren, and you must be the legendary demon that I've heard so much about. The one and only, he said, shaking his hand. Well, the girl in the pink hair is Nora, and she probably has told you we're part of Team Juniper. Cool, man. Look, I really want to chat, but I best be going. I'm probably going to be seeing my breakfast very soon, he said, holding his hands to his mouth as he did. Understandable. Guess we'll be seeing you around campus. See ya, he said, before grabbing his faceplate, reattaching it, and walking out of the dining hall. He seriously did feel like vomiting, though. Just another effect of the stims. He made it to his pod and was greeted by Vanessa. Sir, these crystals are remarkable. It is like the elements are in the crystal. Vanessa, I thought you were programmed to believe in science, not that someone could figure out a way to put elements into a crystal. I know, sir, but that's the only way I can explain it. They're remarkable. That's nice and all, but how can it benefit me? Well, most of the designs you have tried to make can be accomplished using these. They can be used as weapons. They can be used in weapons, much like gunpowder, and can be used in heaps of other ways. Well then, if I told you, could you please begin producing the designs? Vanessa just held up her colossal hands. Okay then, you have my permissions to take control of the Spectre for the time being. I'm heading out to the city. Please watch over the pod for me, okay? Asked Demon, walking over to his motorbike as he did. You can count on me, sir, she replied, while doing a mock salute. He groaned before wheeling his bike out of the landing pads. He jumped up on the next trip to Vale and spent the ride checking over his cycle. He had managed to scavenge it after clearing one of the high-end planets from the IMC. It was a basic model that he had decked out to make it special. He had the wheels covered in Kevlar. The engine was replaced with a miniature nuclear reactor, much like that in a Titan, and he had linked multiple sensors to his HUD, so he didn't have to look down while driving. As soon as he was off the platform, he headed straight for the nearest road, feeling the anticipation rising. It was about midday when he looked down at his clock. He turned on the fuel pump and gunned the engine, at a satisfying purr coming from the vehicle. With a smile, he jumped on and revved it a couple times. Even though it was a nuclear reactor, it still had that delicious sound of a fuel-powered bikes. He began riding it through the streets of the city, taking in the city, while being slightly annoyed at the low speed limit. After finally having enough, he headed to the nearest highway and gunned the engine. He was so sad that he couldn't take off his helmet, but he still felt the thrill of the speed. About 4 hours later, after being nearly arrested by the police 3 times, being forced to hack into their personal cameras to delete his photos, he headed into the darker parts of town. He enjoyed being in the stungy parts of town, mostly because they were all the black markets were. He continued riding around until he made his way to a reasonably agreeable bar, parking his bike and locked it there with the security measures he installed. As he was walking to the door, a sudden thought entered his mind. Crap, I don't have any money. I'll figure it out. He walked up to the door, hearing the thumping beats of nightclub music. He walked through the automatic front door and was greeted by about 20 guns pointed directly at him. There were roughly 5 pistols, and the rest were rifles, except for the guy that was hefting a rocket launcher. Never mind, false alarm, said the guy with the rocket launcher, causing the others to put their weapons away and go back to whatever they were doing. Sorry about that, said the guy as he walked up and shook Demon's hand. What could you possibly need that much firepower for? His face turned red for a moment, before going back to normal. That's a story for another day. Come, have a drink. My name's Junior, by the way, he said as he walked back to the bar. I'll have a strawberry sunrise if you got it, Demon asked Demon as he pulled up a seat. Sorry guys, I'm not in the best mental shape today. I'm making a lot of mistakes. He narrowed his eyes and pulled off a few bottles of liquor off the shelves before passing a blood-red drink over the counter to him. He drank it down, savoring the sensation that flowed down his throat. After he swallowed it down, he looked at the bartender with a smirk on his face. Now, I don't have to pay for this, do I? I mean, you did nearly kill me. He grumbled a bit before nodding his head and walking off around to the back. Demon reached over the bar and began drinking out of the bottle before he heard an announcement over the speakers in the nightclub. For all those who got it, we got karaoke going on soon, so get your asses down to side stage for song requests. What the heck, might as well. He walked over to side stage and requested a song, the organizer having no idea what it was. Before he walked on stage, he hacked in the speaker system and began playing the backing track to his song before the actual song started. Now, I know you have absolutely no idea what the song is, but sit back, relax, and enjoy. He clicked the button on his wrist and the song began. And then, in parentheses, just play Can't Hold Us. After he was done, he walked off stage with just about everyone in the nightclub clapping. Damn good performance, commented Junior as he passed another strawberry sunrise over the counter. Well, I try. They conversed for a while, before they heard a loud screeching sound coming in from outside. Demon immediately sprang into action, pulling out his wingman, and sprinted to the front. Who the hell is stealing my bike? He bursted through the front door, not even waiting for the automatic doors, and aimed his pistol at the person next to his bike, and then lowered it after he saw who it was. Yang? Why are you touching my bike? The blonde looked up, trying to furiously deactivate the alarm that was going off. I'm sorry. Demon sighed before stopping the alarm with the button on his keys. So what takes you to these part of the woods at this time of night? Asked Demon, walking over and resting on his bike. Well, I heard on the police scanners that some guy had been continuously avoiding the cops on a bike, so I came here to check it out. Well, you better fight fire with fire, said Demon, pointing at Bumblebee as he did. Yeah, I built her myself. She's the fastest bike on Remnant. With a scoff, Demon pulled out the keys to his bike's ignition and revved the engine. Not anymore. Is that a challenge? Asked Yang, as she walked back to her bike and turned the keys over, causing the engine to rev in anticipation. It might be. You got a place to race? I kinda don't want to hack any more police cameras. Follow me, she replied before gunning the engine and speeding off down the street, barely holding the speed limit. Demon smiled and followed her, catching up with ease. A couple minutes later, they ended up at a racetrack in the middle of town. Yang parked her bike outside, gesturing him to stay where he was, and walked inside to the reception area. About a minute later, she walked out with a nervous-looking clerk in tail. He hesitantly walked over and unlocked the gate to the track, letting the two drive in. Yang winked back at him, and he closed the door quickly as possible. What the hell did you do to him? Oh, nothing, she said with a smirk. They wheeled their bikes over to the starting line, having to use their headlights to line up. Yang waited for a moment, looking into the darkness before the lights all over the stadium came on. It was a normal racetrack, meant for cars, as it was a large oval shape, but it looked about a kilometer long. She turned to Demon with a smirk on her face. So, we're not going to race for nothing, are we? Not with you talking that much shit. Oh, you're on. Winner gets the other's bike. We got a deal? She hesitated for a second before nodding and wheeling up straight to the starting line. Demon wheeling his next to hers. 2 laps. Winner takes all. Yep. Okay, we go. In 3. He revved his engine, signaling that he was ready. Okay, ready. 3! She screamed before gunning the engine, screeching down the track. Demon shook his head at her before twisting his hands back and speeding after her. He trailed behind her for the first lap. Yang looked back, smirking as she crossed the line for the first time. He smiled under his helmet as he flicked the switch next to his right thumb, turning the nuclear reactors full power. As it charged full power, he drove right up next to Yang so she could hear him. Sorry about this, but eat shit, he shouted while gunning the engine. The bike doing a wheelie before getting back on both wheels. He left Yang in the dust and completed his lap in a full 10 seconds ahead of her. She drove over the finish line and stopped a few meters away. She grabbed her helmet, threw it on the floor, and threw the keys to Demon. He managed to catch them before they lodged in his helmet, looking over a bit before chucking them back. She heard the keys jingle and looked as they clattered to the floor in front of her. I would never take your ride. Plus, how in the hell am I going to get 2 bikes back to Beacon by myself? She smiled, picked up her helmet, and got back on her bike. She drove out of the arena, probably on the way back to Beacon, leaving Demon to deal with the clerk. He got off his bike and thanked him for letting them use the track, promising that he would repay him later. The guy nodded guiltily before shutting the complex as he left. Demon drove back to the landing area and got on the next ride to Beacon. Being the only person on the whole thing, he made it back to his dorm around midnight, sneaking in to make sure he didn't wake his team. He slipped into bed and began falling asleep. I'm sure that tomorrow is going to be as epic as today.